So this past year, 82% of all internet traffic was either downloaded or streamed video content. And 80% of consumers said that they want to see more video from businesses. People are craving video on all social platforms, websites, and it's never been easier to make video content that looks professional by yourself. In this video, I'm going to give you the 3 main ingredients you're going to need to produce top quality video. So let's get right into it. The 3 main things you're going to need are 1, a camera, 2, upgrading audio, and upgrading lighting. If I was going to order those in importance to me, in my opinion, the order of importance for those 3 would be 1, audio, 2, lighting, and then 3, a camera. Audio is 50% of the viewing experience. So thinking back in the days, and I might be dating myself, but when you couldn't afford to go see a movie in the movie theater, you would get a bootleg DVD.
One DVD, $5.
So there you'd get something that was in the theaters on a DVD, pop it in your DVD player, and you could watch it at home. So sometimes you'd get lucky and you'd get like a premium quality recording, but then there were other times when things weren't so good. The picture might have been a little bit wonky or it was handheld and shaky, but you could hear what was going on. And then on the flip side, there'd be times when you'd see a perfect picture, but you really couldn't hear the audio at all. When you're looking at those 2 instances, the time when you could actually hear what's going on, you probably stuck around and watched the majority of the movie. Me personally, I can remember watching where there were scenes where it looked like my screen was completely black. I couldn't see anything, could kind of make things out, but I could hear it perfectly so I could follow the story. On the flip side, if I couldn't hear things but I could see a great picture, it would keep you around for a little bit, but eventually you would tune out and turn it off. When upgrading audio, a big misconception is that it'll be really expensive to get anything that is going to be better quality than what's in your camera or your cell phone.
So expensive.
Really, you can get away with a $20 microphone on Amazon. There are literally hundreds, maybe thousands of options. I would suggest a lavalier microphone. It's really easy because you just have to plug the one end into the camera or cell phone, clip this other side close enough to your mouth, and you're good to go. A pro tip, I would always get the longest cord that you can get. This way it just gives you flexibility to stand as far back or as close as you want. There are lots of options for lavalier microphones. There's one here that I'll put up on the screen. This one's from Movo, and at the time of recording, it is $15.95. This will be a great upgrade from the microphone that's built into your camera or into your cell phone. So it's a great way to start for sure. If you're ready to step things up a little bit, or you just want to buy one thing and never have to buy it again, that's kind of like my mantra. I'd rather buy something that's like a little bit better than average, closer to premium, so I just buy it once. I don't have to buy something else ever again. I'd go with the Rode Lavalier Go. Super rock solid, great audio every time. I've had this one specifically for a couple years now. I actually have 2. It's never really a miss. Always great audio. Plug in, you're good to go. The Rode mic is going to cost you about $100 at the time of recording. But again, like I said before, you buy it once and you never have to buy anything else ever again. So if you want to go wireless, that's a great option as well. Gives you a lot of flexibility. There's one I'm going to put up on the screen, and that is the dual wireless microphone for iPhone and iPad. You can get ones that have USB-C that can go into Androids or the new iPhone as well. This one's going to cost you about $33 to $34. The sound quality on them is going to be better than what's built into your camera, but honestly, it's not going to be fantastic, but it'll definitely be an upgrade from what you've got if you have nothing. Again, if you're ready to step it up and buy something once and never buy it again, I would go with the Rode Wireless Go. So these wireless microphones are going to give you a lot of flexibility. The sound quality is amazing. Battery in them lasts a long time. And the good thing with these wireless transmitters is, one, they have a built-in microphone. You might have seen people clip it on their shirts and they just talk into them straight. You can do that. Or if you want to get a little more professional, you can plug in your lavalier microphone, run it down your shirt, put this in your pocket, and now you just have the little microphone on your shirt. So it's good to go. This will be what you see mostly on news anchors, reporters. They're wearing lavalier microphones clipped on them, and they have a wireless transmitter either in their pocket or taped behind them. So a more elaborate mic setup would be jumping up into a shotgun microphone or boom microphones. These are going to require possibly like an external recorder, just a little bit more audio know-how to get them going. I've got the Comica VM20. So this shotgun microphone is pretty user-friendly in the sense that you can plug it straight into your camera. Some of the other ones that might require some phantom power, that means just like external power, got to plug them into an external recorder, but this one's pretty good for just plug and play and it's easy to go. Sound quality is great on them for sure, and they're super versatile. The Comica shotgun microphone, this one's going to run you about $132. It's actually on sale right now. Pretty good pricing and very versatile. So another more professional type of option is the XLR microphone. These are the microphones you're going to see on podiums when people are giving keynote speeches, as well as higher produced podcasts. I'm currently using a XLR microphone right here. It's the Rode PodMic USB. The great thing about an XLR microphone is you're going to get broadcast quality out of them. Unfortunately, there's a little bit more know-how to get them going. You're going to need some sort of interface between the microphone themselves and your camera or your recording device. So you've picked your audio source, you're good to go in that sense, and now it's time to upgrade lighting. So if your budget is tight and you're just starting out, you can use the power of the sun. Jump in front of a window and that's going to give you a great light source right there. The big downfall here is that the sun is very inconsistent, so you're not going to be able to control the light exactly the way you want. You won't be able to shoot at night and during the day, depending on what time of day and how the sun is, if there's cloud cover, things like that, you're not going to be able to control the intensity. But as a beginner, this is a perfect option. The thing is, don't stand in front of an open window. Put a white sheer or a white bed sheet in front of that window. It's going to soften the light. You might hear people say, let's jump out and take pictures at 12 noon. Absolutely do not do that. You're going to get the harsh sun overhead, which is going to give you the dark lines and dark pockets under your eyes. You're going to look like a raccoon, so you don't want to do that. Funny enough, the best time to take a picture or take video outside is going to be when it's cloudy. Clouds are going to work like a large softbox and they're going to soften the light, so you're not going to have harsh shadows. So a rule of thumb is the larger the light source is, the better it's going to look on your subject. And another thing, you're going to want to get that light source as close to you as possible. So I have like a softbox right here. My arm's length, I can touch it. It's just right outside of the frame, and that's going to light me the best. Again, if it's not in your budget, don't worry. Just use the power of the sun. Just make sure to put up a white sheet or a sheer in front of that window. You're going to have the sheer, camera, and then you. Don't have your back to that window. You want to have the window in your face, shining that light right on you. So when you've decided to upgrade from the natural light source, you saved up some money and you want to buy an external light source, something you can control, there are a couple options. And by a couple options, I mean there are a lot of options. So I found that a great starting point is the LED panel lights. These are super portable, very versatile, very lightweight. Most of them you can plug in and they can use battery power. These are what you see a news anchor when they're on the street reporting. They just pop up two of these and light up the anchor or the reporter and they get solid video. An example of these would be a newer panel. They make a great line of budget camera equipment. I actually am using one right here behind me. You have two choices here. There's one that's the RGB, which is just a red, green, blue. That's something that you can change the colors for. So that's one that I have here. You can change the colors really easily. The whole spectrum of colors you can change. And then the other option is the bicolor, which is just going to give you like the daylight white or like a warm white. So not to get too technical, but if you ever see a K, that's Kelvin, the Kelvin score, 5600 is pretty much daylight white. And then on the other side, like 3600, that's going to be like that warm incandescent, like that Christmas lights that you see on houses. So again, these LED panel types of lights, super convenient, easy to move. You can shoot at home, you can take them with you. I would suggest if you were going to buy one that comes with a bag, just because there's lots of things, a stand, sometimes they come, I got ones that came with soft boxes, it's got remote, lots of different options. In the bio, I've linked some options for you to take a look at. So when you're ready to buy that last light for the foreseeable future, I suggest you upgrade to my favorite light right now, which is the Godox SL60W. This is the light currently lighting me right here. Super versatile. On them, they have a Bones mount. So the Bones mount is going to be the most versatile mount, which all softboxes you can place on top of them. The 60-watt outputs is bright enough for anything you're going to need to do interior for the majority of people. Yeah, you can get more expensive and brighter lights, definitely. But I think if you're going from like zero to try to go a little bit higher than amateur into intermediate, you could definitely get away with having this light. I've got 2 of them right now. I've never felt like I've been in a situation where I needed more light. So in terms of modifiers, so things that can shape that light, because you're going to want to put something on top of that, a softbox of some sorts. The best options, I think, is one, a parabolic type modifier, and another one is like a light dome or a lantern. A parabolic softbox would be great because it would be very directional. You can light up exactly what you specifically want to light up. Some of them come with a light grid, which again will just make the light more directional. It's great. I would just suggest that you get the quick release. That's just easier to set up and to break down. Small Rig makes one, and there are a couple other companies. Again, I'll link it in the description so you can take a look. Another great option I found in the softbox is the lantern softbox. Here you'll see a Godox softbox lantern. This one is great for lighting the whole area. Again, it'll be a little bit directional, but because it's like more 360, it'll light everything up that's in the scene. So if you don't want everything lit up, you might want to go with the parabolic, but if it's okay to just light up the whole scene, you don't want anything darker or any spots, go with the lantern. So going back to the Godox SL60W, it's going to be very versatile in the sense that you can put anything on top of it to shape the light. It comes with a remote. A huge con is it doesn't come with a carrying case. So even to this day, I'm just carrying it in the box when I go out for shoots, which is kind of inconvenient, but it's the best light I've found so far. The light is going to run you about $140 right now at the time of recording, but it's like $50 off. Even at regular price at $200, you're literally going to buy it once and you will not have to buy another one for the foreseeable future. So you upgraded your audio, you dialed in your lighting. Now it's time to figure out your camera and the settings. So first and foremost, don't feel like you have to go out right away and buy a professional camera. You'd be surprised the quality you're going to get out of your cell phone. The cell phone that you're using or that I'm using right now for sure is better than the first ever DSLR professional camera that I ever bought. The iPhone 15 hit the market not too long ago and it has 7 cameras on it. So if you're an Android user, which I'm not, I've heard that you have access to lots of great looking cameras as well. So in saying this, no matter what type of camera you have, you really have to just dial in a couple settings to get the maximum quality. So let's assume you're using a cell phone. The setting you're really going to want to focus on here is going to be the frame rate and the quality. So with the frame rate, you're really going to want to go with 24 or 30. Personally, I always shoot at 24. That is the frame rate that you're going to see on TV. 30 frames per second is what you're typically going to see on social media as well. But I upload everything in 24 frames per second, and I think it looks great, to be honest. And really, our goal is always to look as cinematic as possible. So we're going to go with that 24 frames per second always. Another popular one shooting in is 60 frames a second. This is when you shoot something at 60 and you want to slow it down to 24. If you do a lot of real estate like I've done in the past, you shoot things in 60 frames per second, slow it down to 24, and now when you're sliding through the house, you feel like you're just in a dream and it's nice and buttery smooth. So now that you've got the shutter speed dialed in, you're going to want to choose your quality. It's now either 4K or 1080p. 1080 is high definition and it is a lot of what you see on television and what you see on social media. Quality here is amazing. So a 4K image has a resolution of 3480 by 2160, whereas the 1080p has a resolution of 1920 by 1080. So these numbers might not mean anything to you specifically, but really it's just telling you a 4K image has a ton more quality. But sometimes this isn't the right choice. Sometimes if people have a lot of imperfections in their face, or just if you just don't want to see all those details, a 4K is not going to be the right choice always. Also, a 4K image is going to be absolutely massive. People do not talk about this enough. It takes up so much space, so you're going to need to buy buy a new computer that can handle 4K. You're going to need more external drives to store all those clips. So you really need to factor in if you're going to want to be shooting in 4K all the time. So don't feel like you need to shoot in 4K to stay up with things. A really good positive for 4K, aside from the quality, is if you will take like a horizontal shot like we have here and we want to zoom that into a vertical and zoom me in up to like 200 or 300%, you're not really going to lose that much quality and you won't notice. So that's a huge plus. So just for reference, everything you see over on my Instagram account, that's all shot in 1080p and I think it looks great. So when you're recording on your cell phone, you can stick with the high definition, which will be 1080p, or you can pop it over to 4K and you dial in the shutter speed of 24 frames per second. If you feel like you want to go 30, go 30. I would say stick with 24, pop it into 4K, add all the things that we talked about before, and your image will look great. So in the future, I'll go over what types of cameras you might want to look for when upgrading from your cell phone to a quote unquote professional camera. But for now, your cell phone is a super powerful tool and you'll be able to get great results out of it. So to recap, if you're ready to elevate the quality of your content, I found that if you upgrade audio, lighting, and your camera in that order, you'll get great results. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. It's Dave here at Duff Media. And one more thing before you go, if you're having trouble coming up with content ideas, I've got another video in this series that goes over 100 fill-in-the-blank video ideas. So give that a watch and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.